I'm Juliam Zawistowski. I'm CEO of Golem project. Our goal with Golem is to build a market for computing power so that users can rent out their machines in a peer-to-peer network using Ethereum for clearing transactions. This is our aim for the future, to create global computing market, and Ethereum is an integral part of it. So Golem is a very complex project, like comparing to many other things going on in space, because we have to solve many quite fundamental challenges in many areas. But one of the challenges is solved for us by Ethereum, and basically the fact that we realized that this challenge is solved by Ethereum made us working on Golem. And this challenge is the transactions between the computers and the whole transaction logic within the network. Because if you want to create truly decentralized network for computers to trade computing power, then of course you need decentralized transaction system. And the problem is that the only decentralized transaction systems we have now is first fiat, obviously. I can pass you $5 bill, and that would be decentralized. There would be no middleman. And the only other way to do that without intermediaries is through cryptocurrency. But then Ethereum provides other capabilities that can be used by us and makes the platform of choice for building Golem network and its transaction system. So Ethereum is first perfect for doing crowdfunding, ICOs, token generation, generating events, you name it. So basically we were one of the first projects to do that on top of Ethereum, creating own token and funding further development of project by crowdfunding that token to the people. But this is the only one of the reasons we opted to use Ethereum compared to other cryptocurrencies. And this is the fact that we can not only generate the token, but we can also build some logic into the transaction system, which makes it possible through the system of the smart contracts you build around Golem to make it much more capable and reliable if we were using Ethereum only as a purely transaction system. So also Ethereum help us with the consensus layer of the system. Most of other cryptocurrencies or blockchains do not provide that. Not mentioning very high transaction fees. That would be a killer for us in Bitcoin, for example. For sure, I'm a really huge fan of Omise Go. This is the project aiming to move forward financial services onto totally different level. So if the Omise Go is successful with what they are after, I think that can really change how people operate on financial level, especially in developing countries. Maybe it's not that important for developed countries, but for developing countries, what Omise Go is doing is definitely exciting. I also very like projects that are oriented on the prediction markets. So both Augur and Gnosis. I think this is quite fascinating, and I can't wait to see them in production with what they are after. So obviously there are also projects that are exciting because of the technology. Maybe they will not be that visible to the end users, but technology they're after is really exciting. And here I mean IPFS to start with, and probably other things that Protocol Labs is working on. Also projects to scale up Ethereum, but building on top of Ethereum, like Plasma, obviously, which is a great idea, Raiden, perhaps.